back, man. Big H's.
Good.
That was my need, but I'm okay.
I
okay.
felt that one. I'm your boy Morrow.
I'm your boy Amity.
Money Maker J.
And we back with another video, and today we got...
Rest in peace to my kneecap.
Man, my fault, man.
He went straight into my knee.
As y'all know, the man, you know, one of the all-time greats in WWE history.
11-time World Heavyweight Champion.
14-time Tag Team
That's
champion.
crazy. That's the craziest one.
WWE Hall of Famer.
5-time Intercontinental Champion. It's crazy. I only saw like one of his IC title reigns. That was like the one when he beat Randy Ford in 04.
Yeah.
We are talking none other than the Rated R Superstar Edge. I can't do a Tony Chimmel, but hey, work with what I can.
Snap.
But yeah, man, we gonna just talk about, we really just gonna run, you know, just go through, I say, just give some of our favorite moments from Edge's career. Basically,
25 years.
Yeah, 25. I mean, in reality,
It was really
9
like
of the
12.
years was
bro.
cut short, but he was still, he a WWE member, so, you know,
All right,
25
16,
years.
16.
Yeah, 25 years of awesomeness from the Rated R Superstar. I'm going to say this first off, one of my favorite moments ever from Edge. You just mentioned it right before I press record, the live sex celebration on Monday Night Raw. Him and Lita. It was just creative at that point. Like, who was having sex in the ring in wrestling? Come on, man. I mean, Edge was different, bro. Like, the whole, just the way his character was from the start, where he was just, you know, a young, underrated talent. Like, you knew he had talent, but he wasn't quite there. And then 05, he elevated to win Money in the Bank, and he just skyrocketed from there.
Yeah, he was. The funny thing is, Edge was never like the man.
Yeah, and it was just like that Triple H video we did.
Yeah, like he was a dude. I'm not gonna lie to you though. He got 11 world titles,
Yeah.
but a lot of them are like 2-month reigns.
Yeah, they kind of short range.
All of them are. He's never held a world title like and had like these incredible runs. Like,
Transitional champion.
that's really what he. But that's not to deteriorate from his greatness though. It's just when you think about it, it's like, man, huh. But he's got moments though. Him cashing in on Undertaker. Him. I think about the match they had inside the Hell in a Cell when he got chokeslammed off the ladder through the ring, and then the fire came up. I was like, man. And that was the first pay-per-view of the PG era, I think. Or the non-blood, all that type of stuff.
Like around like 08.
Yeah, that was like SummerSlam 08. So it's a lot of Edge got a lot of moments for sure.
Yeah.
One of my moments, and I know it's kind of a recent moment, but just the moment was a big moment for everybody. Obviously, we gotta do the 2020 Royal Rumble when his music hit and the crowd went nuts.
Just him coming back home.
Yeah, nobody saw that come out.
No one thought in a million years that with the injury he sustained would he ever come back to wrestling. And the way he found out, like it was said on SmackDown both this week and last week, he only found this out through Sheamus's Celtic Warrior workouts video when he took that bump off his bike, and he's like, man, I could do that again. And it got the gears winding and thinking like, man, could I make a comeback?
Yeah.
And because of that, it started him back on the road to coming back home.
And I'm gonna just say this. His run from 2020 to now been incredibly impressive. Like, this is a 3-year run. He fought the likes of Seth Rollins. That's probably my favorite feud he had. The 3 matches they had, the one on SmackDown, Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
Like, just killing. I'm talking about the feud with Finn and the Judgment Day entire thing when Edge started it, added Rhea. It was just...
We wouldn't have the Judgment Day without Edge.
Yeah, so that's another thing to thank him for. Like, you know, just... I like the AJ Styles one. That was one of my personal dream matches from Edge. You know?
That's where his heel turn started.
Yeah, and but it's like, it was like, that was somebody I wanted to see him really face. And, you know, it wasn't as crazy, but it was good enough for me.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like they underwhelmed that match. AJ Styles and Edge. Right? But if you talk about in terms of return, my favorite moment of return is probably, I'm not gonna lie, him snapping and like him destroying Daniel Bryan.
Nah, yeah, when Deep Bryan squares his way in the main
Yeah,
event.
I was like, bro, I understand.
Yeah, but why? But they turned him heel.
But that he had every reason to turn heel, because Daniel Bryan finessed his way into world title match.
I just couldn't see Edge being heel no more, bro.
I mean, it was a little wild that they turned. You come back from that catastrophic injury and turn him heel.
Then they did it, bro. He turned heel like 2-3 times, bro.
Yeah,
like,
it's crazy. He was turning into Big Show a little bit.
crazy.
The one feud I wish was done a little better was the feud with Orton.
With who?
Randy Orton. I feel like that feud could have been better.
I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, I know they were working with what they could with COVID, but
Hey, you right though. Like the greatest wrestling match ever. Like, come on, man. The match was
it was
good.
the greatest
but,
underrated
you know, yeah,
wrestling
like,
match ever.
You know, you right though. That feud, I feel like if they was both like a little bit, because they bodies. You know, Randy was wrestling through that back injury all them last few years. You know, he was wrestling through that. So, Randy just probably couldn't really do as much as he used to. So that's probably why them two didn't really... It was good, though. They had good matches, but it could have been, like, way better, though.
Yeah, I think my favorite match from Edge this year, I think the match with Roman was great. The Money in the Bank match. The match with Finn was really good. The match... Let's see, what other matches do we have?
I feel like Seth was like his best opponent.
Yeah, for sure. Their match at MSG was insane.
Yeah, that was the one on SmackDown.
That's the one I forgot to put on our TV match.
Yeah.
And we did them
Yeah, they like that was. I feel like Seth Rollins. You said it. Like he just don't miss in no aspects. So you throw him in there with anybody, and he gonna make sure you look good. And them three matches was crazy. Like Seth did the same thing with Cody. Like he just do that.
Yeah.
If you in there with Seth, he gonna make sure you look right.
Well, even if you got one ticket, you gonna make sure you good.
But yeah, man, Edge just like we all respect the legend of Edge. Like I think back to older stuff too. Like I liked it rated RKO. You know, now I like him. You know, back then you didn't like Randy and Edge because you didn't understand wrestling for real. And they was sick individuals. But now that I look back on it, that was a great tag team.
Yeah, they didn't kill Ric
Man,
Flair.
like, rated RKO was something like, that's two former world champions you put together like that. And it became a world tag team champion. So
Initially their whole thing was like, we've been overlooked, we ain't been getting our opportunities and all this type of stuff. Let's just run stuff.
Oh, bro, they snapped. That was an underrated move by WWE.
I still love their segment they did when they came out as DX when they were doing that whole feud.
Yeah,
Edge,
that was
with the
hilarious.
big nose, and then Randy acting with Shawn with his back injury where he just falls in the ring, and then Edge falls back, just making a mockery of it. But it was still fun.
They beat Ric Flair to oblivion.
Yeah, they
week.
destroyed, man.
Bloody beatings too, like, but yeah, man, it's just like, like I said, I feel like Edge, he had it, man. Like, he survived this long, and then to be able to come back from after 9 long years from triple fusion neck surgery, like
He's here to finish his career on his
triple
terms.
fusion neck surgery, bro.
That just sound, I don't even know exactly what that is, but
He
that just sounds
got
crazy.
he got metal and wires all in his neck, bro. Like just to keep his neck stable.
And to be taking these bumps and doing all this, like he's having great matches.
And it's crazy the way he injured himself. A lot of people don't even notice for real. Like he been injured like that, but he overly re-aggravated it. It was on an episode of SmackDown.
When he speared
Big
Tyrus.
Brodus Clay.
Yeah.
Bro,
That's when
I call him Tyrus. I'm
Nah,
tripping.
he listen.
Because you saw his
No.
neck twitch back when he did it.
But he's been having he's had neck injuries his whole career. Like
Yeah,
He's
when he
had
got
neck surgery.
I think that when he came back, because you watching 04, when he came back in 04, I think he came back from a neck injury. If I'm right, comment down below if I'm right. I don't know.
Well, you gotta remember how much he aggravates his neck. Like, look, the infamous triple threat WrestleMania tag team match TLC, that spear off the ladder in midair.
Yeah,
That has
I mean,
anything to do with
yeah.
it. The double FU off the ladder through 2 tables in Canada, Unforgiven. You gotta remember that
Yeah.
too. His
Wrestling takes years off your life.
his neck has been through the ringers through the likes of that, through the likes of The Undertaker, the list goes on. Probably those tombstones and choke slams don't help him none, but
I don't think the tombstone really hurt you, but
if done correctly.
Yeah, but we all know, man, like Edge he had a great career, 31 total championships.
Bro.
The first ever winner of the Money in the Bank ladder match. Like you said, great moments over the years. His feud with Cena, incredible feud with John back in the day. Like just everything Edge really was putting his hands on for real. He was killing it.
Bro.
Like he ain't had too many gimmick changes like that later on. He was just a rated R superstar,
Yeah.
But
I will say this though, Edge to me in terms of the promos, he came back killing. Like Edge was a good talker. I don't think I ever saw him as a great talker. He was a really, really good talker, but he came back snapping. Like, and I think that had a lot to do with his work, even in the movies with playing the Viking and all that type of stuff.
Or the infamous role he had in the sci-fi series Haven.
Yeah, I think the movie roles or acting roles just added.
Am I
intensity.
tripping, or he just added like it
Nah,
felt
yeah.
it felt more
like even when they used to zoom in on his face.
Yeah, that one.
And
That
he
one.
had just snapped like he wasn't doing promos like that before.
I think it's a mixture of both his background in movies after he retired, and the other part of it is it's pure heart. I mean, he didn't think that he would be back. He thought he'd just be now being a family man, doing what he's doing. He didn't think he'd be back in the ring. He didn't think he'd be doing what he loves to do.
Yeah, that give you motivation to just go even crazier. Like
But
he came back with a vengeance. But yeah, man.
I want to let y'all know I was on Randy's side at first, like what he did to Edge initially. Like so Ruby could have a father, Ruby and Lyric have a father, so Beth could have a husband. I was on Randy's side.
Didn't Seth do the same thing?
No, but Randy put Edge out of commission for a good reason. He tried to for a good reason. I don't know what Seth was doing. He was in his crib just doing stuff.
I think it goes back to. I think that feud.
I ain't like that.
I think that feud.
Seth was in his career. Nobody was there.
I think that feud started a while back. I forgot who sent it in the chat. I think it was you. Started back when the Authority was brought back into power by Seth Rollins threatening Cena by having his foot on his neck that he was going to curb stomp him to oblivion.
I love long story.
Say you know me better than that. I'm gonna kill him anyway.
Oh, bro, he
That's
snaps.
crazy.
He snapped.
Seth was just sick, man.
But I don't have much else to say on Edge. The resume speaks for itself.
Yeah, it's like we respect Edge. We wanted to just do a little video thanking the Rated R Superstar. Normally, I wouldn't disrespect Trish Stratus like this, but for this video only, I'm gonna say it. Thank you, Edge.
Thank you,
The Rated R Superstar. He gave us memories of wrestling that we can enjoy and think on and be like, man, I watched Edge, and I seen this great career.
I'm not going to lie. This is me being 100% honest. When I saw Edge coming out on Friday in Toronto,
Cried.
I had the tears out of my eye.
Man.
Because he's that man. I mean, obviously, I started watching wrestling in 2012, so I was kind of on the tail end of it. Edge was already gone. But I kept up with Edge and started looking at his feuds, his rivalries, and I became a big fan of Edge. I've told these guys, Edge is one of my favorite wrestlers in WWE, point blank, period. So,
He was underrated too in the ring.
So because of that, when I saw him come out, in his hometown, wearing his hockey team's hometown colors, the Toronto Maple Leafs.
You saw his custom-made IC title, the blue one?
I don't think I saw
I
it.
see that. It's cold.
But just when I
It's
saw
on WWE Shop or something?
Nah, it's on. They just posted it
Oh.
on IG.
But when I saw that, it brought a tear to my eye. And then after they went off the air, Edge says, look, I legitimately don't know. I'm going to go home. I'm going to lick my wounds. I'm going to give it a week or two. And that's when I'm going to figure it out. But he did say he doesn't think he'll make it another whole year if he does. So he told Toronto, look, this is probably the last time you'll see me wrestle here. And then, mid-breaking news out of it, Kevin Owens makes his return off-air on SmackDown.
Oh, yeah? He came out.
Yeah.
He been injured. They ain't even putting him on Raw or nothing. Like, they just been keeping him off TV.
And Sami Zayn's elbow is still
Got
50-50.
ball and he look like, it don't look like I seen us.
Yeah, it look crazy.
But I just go ahead.
Hold on, one last thing.
Go ahead.
The one thing I wish I could have got out of this Edge thing. I'm probably gonna be like, man, I do want to see Gunther versus Edge. That's probably out of the books now, but
Yeah, we might
Well,
not
who
see
knows?
it.
We don't know what he's going to do. Does he try to go through maybe another half a year, see what he does? Does he go to AEW? Does he go somewhere else? Does he hang it up finally? We don't know. But I know personally, I would like to. I've yet to see Edge in person,
Right.
and I would love to
Like
see
see
him.
him just at a wrestling show in general.
I'm hoping if he sticks around that the SmackDown before Survivor Series.
Yeah, we
I
didn't
hope.
get. I wanted to see Edge on one of them Raw. That Raw we went to, he wasn't even up.
But he's on
Okay.
SmackDown. That's why.
Yeah, but back in April, I think he was.
So I'm hoping he sticks around that way on that Friday leading up to Survivor Series. I'm able to see him because even me and my buddies said one thing that's on our list is we have to see Edge before he
I
retires.
think I've seen Edge. Backlash 09. Was it Backlash? No, Judgment Day 09. I think I seen him.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, I was
I was
short.
only 9 years old at that point.
But yeah, man, one last thing I want to say. I just like the fact that a lot of the wrestlers paid their respects to Edge. That, you know, the video packages. You saw the likes of Becky Lynch, The Miz. You know, just everybody who been in the ring with Edge would just look up to him. You know, and everybody showed respect to him.
I mean, look at Paul. Even when they were trying to do his segment talking about the Usos Roman, even he said, you know, you could be talking to me about Edge's 25th anniversary. Even he was trying to get Edge
Yeah,
over.
like, you know, that's, you know.
I mean, that was just, don't be asking me stuff about
Braxton a
tribal
little
chief.
off a little bit. She's still not realizing that Paul Heyman not interested in her, but
Bro, she trying to get Paul Heyman.
that boy ready though.
I ain't gonna lie. I would. Hey, if you need to start worrying about Paul Heyman. I'm a bit. No, let me stop.
Yeah, so that's about it for this one. Let us know in the comments, man. Drop down this emoji to show and pay our respects to that man, the Rated R Superstar. But yeah, like the video, subscribe. November 25th, we need 300. That's Survivor Series. Yeah. I might do a video for y'all because we going there, so I might record a little vlog just to show y'all, you know, how the life of a wrestling fan. You know?
He might not be with us.
I didn't say that I wasn't.
I said you might not be.
Oh, I see what you guys are going to try to do with him.
No, I ain't. That was not me.
I just said you might not because you know, like I'm gonna be with bro.
That was all his idea.
You do realize on Friday I'm off, right?
I don't know what you doing.
But
Go on
yeah.
the SmackDown and then go on the Survivor Series.
Nonetheless, I'm your boy. Morrow.
Come on, man.
I'm your boy, Andy.
I'm your boy Mario.
You
We out.
can cut it off this time. I just almost called myself Abby.